Oh my, it's Kellee White.
Hey, it's James Van Prague.
What are you up to?
Thinking about changing the world.
Me too. We should do a show together.
What would it be about?
Let me show you.
The James and Kellee Show. Hi, James.
Hi, Kellee. How are you today?
Oh my gosh, I'm great. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Very good. Thank you. Very good. It's been a lazy day. The weather here in San Diego is a little gray.
A little gray.
Gray.
Okay.
Yeah. June gloom. Remember May gray? June gloom. You remember that when you
Oh
lived
yeah,
here?
it wasn't that long ago. Feels like forever, but
But having a good time, And tonight we have a very interesting subject that a lot of people have been interested in for, I'd say, years,
yes,
maybe.
yes.
And so we're on totems and animal totems. And I want to say before we get started that the whole idea of totem animals is really from Native Americans. It really, I believe, in the beginning was. And I'm going to read what I've found. Really, it was customary for Native American tribes, as well as others, to be made of a smaller group or clans united by an actual or perceived kinship and descent and formed around a founding member or an ancestor. Often this ancestor is an animal spirit, which becomes the clan totem. So a totem for the whole clan. And that's what we say totem poles would be the animals, sacred animals, totems there. That would be the clan, sacred animal. The clan totems are often the animals that inhabit the local area, wolf, bear, turtle, deer, common clans of the Great Lakes area, and which have a unique relationship to the tribe and their heritage. I thought it's very interesting. So when we talk about it, some of the clans of the Six Nations are the turtle, bear, wolf, the heron. Often within these clans are different sub-clans represented by such animals as snapping turtle and painted turtle. That's the turtle clan. So the spiritual powers of various totems help each clan to carry out its own special duties and responsibilities within the tribe in accordance with the attributes of that totem. For instance, the turtle usually bringing the tribe's keepers of the wisdom, the guardians of the legends and mysteries within the tribe's ceremonies and practices. So again, never let your perceived image of an animal affect how you see its ability to serve as a totem. So, here are totem poles. Totem poles, an arrangement of symbols representing animal totems from the tribe's ancestral past. Totems form a form of communication for the specific Northwest Coast Native Americans, as had no written language, and thus story poles were used to convey their legends, stories, and events. Totem poles may also be messages passed on by those that carve them. The pole's symbols may often tell a very personal story of the carver himself, as well as that of his family, clan, or tribe. So that's totem. So because it's gotten changed, a lot of people, say, well, that's very Native American and so forth, and we really know the history of it. But I think people kind of might have an idea of an animal, a totem animal, a special animal. Now, animal guides, totem animals, what would you say the difference is? Is there a difference?
Between animal guides? Oh, that's a good question. Like a spirit guide, a spirit animal guide.
Yes.
And a totem. Well, for me, a totem means a message. So if I'm having a dream and there's a whale in my dream, then I know that the whale is giving me a message. It's a message. Or if I'm out and about and I see a deer run right in front of me, I know that that's going to be a message. What do you think the difference is?
Very interesting, because I didn't want to necessarily put them into that section. Really what I was thinking of, and even for somebody who wants to find out like what their spirit animal is, the animal guide is, there are ways of doing it, but I often want to say that, and I'm going to go through this, what animal comes to you often? What do you feel attracted to? What do you resonate with? I like that kind of more. For me, that works really much better. So that's how I choose it. But I know you're going to go through a list later of what animal totems are. I know, because I know you. And interesting that I think they show up in our lives all the time. I think there are different types of, let's say, animal guides. There could be animal guides that come in as messengers for you. For instance, we know that many times dragonflies and butterflies really are used by the spirit world to convey a message to the loved one, that your loved one is right around you. Or some kind of a bird, very much that way. Dragonflies, butterflies, birds. It's really interesting. I think when the moment comes when you see that, let's say a dragonfly, you ask spirit what does this mean? Who
Right.
is speaking to me? What's going on right now? I think
Right.
that's that way. So those are
Right.
animal spirit guides. I think they've been
Mhm.
used as a messenger.
Right, right. And they can also be used as a message. For instance, if you see a butterfly and it's not necessarily a message from a loved one, it could mean transformation for you.
Or it could mean you need freedom or
You need
liberation.
freedom, liberation. Hmm.
I also I found this out, which I liked. A totem is a spirit being, sacred object, or symbol of a tribe, clan, family, or individual. Some Native American tribes traditions provides that each person is connected with nine. Now, this is their belief: 9 different animals that will accompany him or her throughout life as
Oh.
guides. Different animal guides, also called spirit guides or power animals, come in and out of your life depending on the direction that you are headed and the tasks that need to be completed along your journey.
Ooh, I love that.
Isn't that great? The
Yeah.
animal guide offers power, wisdom to the individual when they communicate with it, conveying their respect and trust. This does not necessarily mean that he or she has actually touched or spent time with the animal, more that they are open to learning these lessons. I find with me, Kellee, when I go into the garden or I'm
Mhm,
in a forest and I hear, and sometimes I hear crows here, or a
mhm.
hawk or an eagle, I stop and I listen and I try to see what is the message or
Right.
what is up. And hummingbirds, of course, come around
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Well, we had a message. We were in your
Wow, you
house. I mean,
know,
to
incredible.
me, that's one of the greatest totem stories of all.
It was the greatest totem story that I've ever had. We've shared it, and then we shared it, and I was spontaneous, and I was like, wow. Please go ahead and tell
Shall
the
I
story.
start the story? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I think we had just come back from doing something at Hay House or something. We
I
were at
know we
your,
were on our way to back east to Omega, actually.
is that what it was?
It was before we got on the plane. It was right. You came to my house. We were
Right.
sleeping over, and the next day go on the plane. Right.
Yeah,
That's
and
what.
we were having a lovely glass of something sitting outside,
Yes,
as I
Brian,
recall.
my partner Brian was bringing us a glass of water. I think for you, my roommate Ken at the time,
Mhm.
and myself, 3 of us sitting there. Brian was bringing out them on a tray.
Yeah.
Maybe you yours, Ken his, and mine. And Brian turned away and went back to the kitchen. And as he did that, the 3 of us like, go on.
We looked straight up, and floating right above us was a giant hawk flying right above us, flying a big hawk, and out of the hawk's mouth, the hawk opened his mouth, and out came a sparrow.
It flew the other direction. We flew completely different direction, and the hawk went that way.
Uh, uh, we
And,
were
and the 3 of us like, ah! And Kelly screams, "It's a totem! It's a
It's a
totem!"
totem. Well, first of all, a hawk means the male psychic.
You told me.
Hello?
Yeah.
We were at your house. It was above you. And then, it was looking for freedom. That sparrow needed some freedom.
And you said also that meant that notice that the male psychic is going in a different direction. There's a different
Yes,
direction coming. Big
completely
changes.
different direction.
You said big changes are coming in direction. Big changes for the male psychic. Big changes. And then I divorced a year later. So there you go.
Like, exactly. I mean, but it floored us all.
At Florida Soul, and that
Mhm.
all 3 of us looked up at the exact same moment.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
Brian
spirit,
didn't see it.
no,
Just the
he
3 of us
wasn't there.
were there.
I mean,
And other things have happened around my house too that Brian has not seen, but other people have seen it.
yes.
Um, 2 other things my friends have seen that Brian did not see. And we're looking at the same thing, and Brian didn't see it, but other people did. So like it's like I was telling a story this morning on Soul Care, but the UFOs. We're talking about UFOs
Yes.
and how at this big party for my show Beyond, we did a premiere party, and we're in the back. This is before I knew you, and it was really at Hollywood in La Brea. There was a big
Okay.
club there, so we went to a party, and we had about 200 people, and there was an outside area that we were all hanging out. And my friend Dorothea was a healer. My friend Jordy, and
Yeah.
myself, we're in all different parts of that yard. And all of a sudden, we look up. I looked up, and there was this UFO with lights underneath, like all these lights. I'm like, oh, it's a UFO. And Jordy, Dorothea, and myself looked at each other all at the same time. Nobody else in that group of 200 saw that craft with the 3 of us.
Oh
Same
my
thing.
God.
When you're ready to see it, you'll see it. When you're at
Yes.
a frequency or
Yes.
vibration.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
just extraordinary. I guess that was a message.
That was the message. What do you think when someone is attracted to a certain animal, a reptile, or like some people love tarantulas, some people love lizards, some people
Mhm.
love birds? Like, what do you think about
I
that?
I think it's a message. I think they should learn all about whatever it happens to be. If it's a tarantula, in fact, I had a dream the other day of a flying
That's a
tarantula. right?
What does a flying tarantula mean?
I mean, well, I actually was curious myself, and it was the second time I've had a dream about a tarantula. So that was a little something. But a tarantula asks you to be patient.
Uh,
It means that something solid is going to happen, things are going to change. It reminds you to trust. Isn't that interesting?
That's interesting. Because if you have a
Mhm.
tarantula up your arm, you either trust or something's gonna happen.
Something's going to happen here. Oh my God. I mean,
What would your totem animal be? You think of
tigers. I love tigers.
tiger.
I love tigers, and from the time I was a young girl, I would always have these dreams where I had 6 tigers around me at all times. Yeah,
Really? Wow.
what I mean, I love tigers. I just see them and I just go nuts over them. I was that whole that show, you remember that Tiger King? That was very upsetting to me because I really love tigers. But
But
that
you must have loved the. Remember when we were growing up, there was the wild, the life was it that was a show with the forget his name.
Wild Kingdom?
Yeah, of Omaha, right? The show,
Yes.
King of Omaha, and every
Yeah.
Sunday night, right?
Yes. Yes.
Burke something,
What
Burke,
was
whatever his
his
name.
name?
The
Yeah,
older
something.
man. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a great show. Oh my God, it was
Yeah.
great. He had
Gosh,
lions and tigers on there, and yeah.
love them. What would your totem be? What's your
Yeah,
favorite?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I
Okay.
have a list in front of me, but I don't know. I mean, I relate, of course, to dogs, of course.
Yes.
Um, I don't know. I think dogs would be it. So dog, of course, is protection, guardian, also loyalty, which is.
Loyalty.
And I'm a
Yeah.
dog in Chinese horoscope, so
Yes.
dogs. I do relate to dogs as far as
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I like lions too. I do like lions.
Oh, I
So
love lions. I love lions too.
I know you have a
Yeah.
list of the meanings of certain.
I have, yeah, the list of, I mean, of some common ones or some famous ones.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it's so interesting. Oh, Belinda says hummingbirds. She loves hummingbirds. And hummingbirds are, they always bring, they bring joy, they bring love, they bring light. And I'll tell you an interesting story, though, that happened. I was with my father and his best friend, and my father is 5'2", and his best friend was 6'5", and we were just finished lunch and we were in a parking lot, and a hummingbird goes in between the two men, between my dad who was 5 feet and his best friend who was 6'5", flying in between them both, and then just dropped dead. We said, "Oh my God, what is that?" It was the weirdest totem ever at that particular, and then both men died within a couple of months.
Wow.
Is that bizarre? And
That's
it even my dad said, "What does that mean?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." But I kind of had an idea.
so Kelly. Before you begin telling me, I would like to everyone, if you could, let's do an exercise.
Okay.
So if I'm going to grab a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, I'm going to start naming things. I want you to write it down. Your first thought when I name.
Okay.
So I'm going to name something. I'm not going to tell you yet. Get your piece of paper and a pen, and I'm going to name some things. And I want you to put your very first thought next to the thing I'm saying. One word is great. One word would be fine, like a description of that. And let's just see, just my own Virgo curiosity thing. Okay, so
Okay.
piece of paper and a pen. All right, got it, Kelly?
Yep.
You're gonna do it too, right? I'm gonna do it
I'll
too.
do
All
it.
right. Okay. So I want if you could maybe close your eyes if you want. I'm gonna say the name, what this is, and I'm gonna write one word next to it. So the first one I'm gonna say is hawk. The animal hawk. One word. Bear. Next one is monkey.
Mm.
So whatever you think, everybody. Swan. Butterfly. Raven.
Mm.
Hold on, my word down too. Crow. Interesting what comes up in our heads with this.
Mhm.
Dog. Tiger. Elephant. Eagle. Owl. Fox. Hold on one second. I'm trying to think of a word I'm getting. I got it. Okay. Next one is snake. Huh. Lion. Oh. Next one, horse. You might get a different description too of what for different animals. Next one is wolf. Last one, whale.
Mm.
Okay. What'd you get for hawk, Kelly?
I always get psychic.
I got insightful. Okay. What'd you get for bear?
I got safety.
Yeah, I got courage. Known for its courage, integrity, and compassion. Monkey.
I got change.
I got curious, and it's able to see things that are hidden.
Ah, I like that.
Swan.
I got beauty. What did you get?
I got graceful. Swan. Idealistic, open-minded, and passionate.
Mm.
Butterfly.
Transformation. What did you get?
I got flight. Bringer of joy and peace. Raven.
I got clan.
You got clan.
Family clan.
Okay. I put down messenger. Raven, explorer of the unknown and mysterious.
Mm.
Crow.
I got also, I put family and then I put witchcraft or something, some sort of magic. Magic is the word.
And I think I put my own bias on this. I shouldn't have, because when I think of crow, I think of negativity, and I shouldn't. Crows are analytical, adaptable, and clever, and I put crows territorial.
Well, but they are.
They are on my ass. What'd you put for dog?
Loyalty.
Loyalty, same thing.
Yeah.
Dog, guardian and a protector. Yeah. Tiger.
Power.
I put strength. Tiger, strength and power. Strength and power.
There you go.
Next one, elephant.
Sensitive.
Funny, I put knowledge. Elephant has power to remove all obstacles.
Oh, completely. Ganesh.
Ganesh. Right. Ganesh, right here. Ganesh.
Oh, I love Ganesh. Yeah. Removes all obstacles.
Yeah. Next one is let's see. Owl.
Owl is the female psychic.
Yes, and I put aware. Solo worker, it says. Eagle. What'd you get for eagle?
Responsibility.
I put knowledge, and eagle is known for a sacred messenger and a healer. Fox.
Trickery. I think of that. I think of trickery.
I wrote clever, and it says clever, sensitive, and shrewd.
Ooh, but that's true.
True. Snake.
Transformation.
Interesting. I put curious.
Really? With a snake?
Yeah. Yeah, curious. Always goes around looking for things. It says linked to creation, fertility, and transformation.
Yes, yes.
Lion, I think we did lion.
Power.
I put proud. Lion shows balance and leadership. Horse.
Freedom.
I put strength. Horse is susceptible, peaceful, and sociable.
Yes.
Yes. And what'd you get for wolf?
For wolf, I got power, and I don't know why.
I put that wasn't I couldn't find the word for it, but it was what appears is not what you see. That's what I was getting. Wolf, loyal and brings balance between family and individual needs.
Yeah.
And what'd you get for whale?
Peace.
I got love. Whale, devoted and seeks the deepest truth.
Yes. It's a fun exercise. It's fun. I think a lot of people are loving this. Lion. Belinda says lion protection.
That's a great one, lion protection.
Yes. And Belinda also put horse freedom. Yes, me too. So Elaine got power for wolf too. Snake. Kim says she got curious. Isn't that funny? Um,
Reptile guides, unsurprisingly, they are a symbol of adaptation, being incredibly intuitive and independent. They
yeah,
are a reminder that every situation can be turned into one that is conductive for growth.
isn't that something?
How, how,
Wait.
how about insect guides?
Well, let me just say, there's some really good insect guides. My favorite is oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting this one. But grasshopper. Grasshopper to me always brings knowledge. Grasshopper.
Yeah,
It's a
same.
big one. It means good luck, longevity, happiness,
What about an ant?
work.
Yeah, I get work too with ants. Work, 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 work.
Wo-
Adaptability.
Right.
Hard workers. Hard
What do you
workers.
get with bees?
Well, see, when I did the Ghost Whisperer, I
Mm.
studied bees because I wanted something to. Bees are known for transformation. So at the beginning of Ghost Whisperer, you'll see it's all about the bees, and it's what's symbolic of it is I wanted something about transformation in the beginning of the show. So beginning credits of Ghost Whisperer, you'll see bees carry on. They carry on through the whole opening credits, and bees represent new life, transformation, the old, the new, flying to a new place. It's all about transformation. Bees.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, what
I
about
use
ladybugs? That one I don't know. Do you know about
Don't know
ladybugs?
ladybugs. I mean, I have to go back to what about our childhood with ladybugs? Always been good luck, doesn't it? Always good.
Yes.
And you count the dots to see how many babies it has, right? I don't know if there's two or
Yes.
not, but I always feel good with ladybug. Maybe
I
it's from
do too.
childhood. I think they're dainty, they're sweet, they're delicate. I
Yeah.
think it's. I always think ladybugs are sensitivity too.
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually cicadas. Now the cicadas are supposed to be coming back.
I heard that.
Yes. Now they're not in my area. Thank you, God. But they are I guess they bury for like 13 or 15 years or something, and then they come out again.
I think it would have to be. I don't know. So I'm just saying it could be growth of some kind, some
Yeah, it's
growth.
got to be growth on some. Um, ants are underestimated. That's very true, Kyle.
True. Very true. Very true. You know,
Oh,
I feel so bad karmically. I feel so bad now that I'm more aware and awake.
right?
When I was a little kid, I used to stomp on ants and stomp on insects. Like, oh, and now, of course, I freak when someone kills an animal or an insect. Like Brian had in the house here, spider in the house is going to kill us. You can't kill that spider. Imagine that you were that spider. Would you feel? Because I have an agreement. This is my territory. If they come to my territory, it's my
Oh,
territory.
oh my God, that's really funny.
That way.
Oh
But
my
you got to
gosh.
respect all life. You got to respect all life. I
Oh,
mean,
well,
just put
and
yourself down in the little body of that insect and have someone kill it. I mean,
well, and spiders are really interesting because they're about creative and the feminine energy and the weaver of life's faith and fate and the shadow self. It's very interesting, spiders.
wow. Yeah, and you also a unicorn, don't you?
Okay, so
Unicorn.
the reason I put unicorn down is because before I went to graduate school, the night before I was to begin graduate school, I had this dream of a unicorn. Now, I am not a unicorn person. I never thought of a unicorn, and yet in my dream was this beautiful white unicorn. And I said it has a meaning to me. And really what it means, it's so fascinating, is it brings logic and emotion. And here I'm going to grad school. Logic and emotion and then deep spirituality. It was perfect for me to see that. Never saw it again. Do you have a thing for unicorns? I never
Um,
even thought about it.
I never really per se did, but I will say magic always.
Magic.
And I as you're thinking about it, as you're saying unicorn, I always think of that. And listen, it's not my. I'm too old. I'm an old man. But the kids had a cartoon, right? The unicorn
Yeah.
cartoon. It was a big thing. What 10 years ago or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And I think about that, and I think about the other side, and I often think the other side of color. So the other side of life, and those other levels, if you will, of aware of life.
Yeah.
Whether it's a fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, everything's so different. So if you turn things upside down, like in those dimensions, you can go through color. You
Ooh.
feel the color as you're going through it. The different shades of red.
Yeah.
With red is just red. There are only different shades and fragments of red and droplets of red, and it's a whole different world. So when you think of unicorn, I always think of that rainbow of colors.
Yes.
That rainbows exist on other levels without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
unicorns exist on other levels.
Yeah.
I know they do. Gnomes, fairies, they all exist in different
Oh,
kingdoms. No
I
doubt about it.
one of the biggest changes I ever had in my life was after I had actually looked down and saw a gnome. I
Tell
actually
us
saw one.
about that. that, Kelly? Tell us about that. 'Cause
I was in Ireland, actually. I was on one of the little islands in Ireland, the Aran Islands, and I was on a business trip actually with business people, and I looked down and I couldn't believe what I saw. I saw a little gnome, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and my whole life changed about a month after that. I had my traumatic brain injury, and my life changed. So I really believe when I see signs, I pay attention. But
oh yeah, I pay
telling you,
attention.
they exist.
They
Gnomes
exist. They
exist.
pay attention. They exist.
Fairies exist.
I wouldn't have my gardens that I live. I create these wonderful
Right?
gardens,
The
not by myself.
elementals.
It's the elementals, and you work with the elementals.
Mhm.
And listen, when I was in Ireland, we put out a little piece of food for them, and little plates, and the little people, and they have everything you give the little people. And we went
Yes.
to fairy rings, and they exist. I mean, no doubt about it.
Exist.
When I was in Ireland, I think I told you this a couple weeks ago. I was in my hotel room. I swear it was like wild, and it was wild only because it was just the whole situation was wild.
Yeah.
When this hotel golf course hotel thing, and 75 to 80% was a religious cult that was taken over. I would say it was a Mormons. I don't know, some kind of religious. They all wore white, so I know. And it was a gathering.
Okay.
And I was teaching a class on mediumship in the middle of this whole thing. It was pretty wild. And but when I first got there, only me, when I first got there, I had the Irish money, the Europe money in my drawer, and I put it exactly where I knew it would be. And I came back to the room, and it was gone, and I couldn't find it. And then I just relaxed because I didn't know what happened. And I came back to my room after dinner, and the money was underneath the bed, and it was like single dollar bills underneath the bed. I'm like, how did that happen? I heard this, almost hear this, I could hear it. I knew it was leprechauns. I just knew it. I knew it, and I just knew it. And there are times where I either went, I think, into the bathroom door, and at the corner of my eye, I could see like shadows, little shadows running around. And it was like one of those little horror movies. But I knew they were goofing with me. They have a great sense of humor, and they're what we call them imps, the little imps, the little, get you. And they were just playing with me. But they are playful people, but you got to be careful with them because they will get you. if you're not they'll get you.
I mean, you're right.
They will. Oh, they will.
That was a wild thing. So Julie asked anything on giraffes. I can tell you this about giraffes.
I love
Giraffes mean the
giraffes.
teachers. I love them too. When you see a
Love
giraffe,
giraffes.
they mean the teacher. So they're there to teach you something.
Higher
Yeah.
learning.
Higher learning. Yes, very high. Definitely. It said,
No, I'm gonna cry.
I
I love
love this. I
them.
do too. So, Rain Hounsel says Swedenborg has a fascinating teaching on animals. He says they are in spirit, reflecting the love of angels, are symbolic of different aspects of expression of love. Yes.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Swedenborg. I mean, Swedenborg's writings and teachings are fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. If you don't know Swedenborg, it's wonderful. It's the next closest thing for religion, I would say, that I'd belong to.
Yes. Yeah,
Really.
I would agree with that.
There's
Wow.
a gentleman on YouTube who talks all about Swedenborg. Sorry, I don't remember his name, but if you look at this gentleman, he explains all the writings of Swedenborg,
Mm.
and he has the most incredible bluish gray eyes I've ever seen in my life. It's like gray, green, blue, and it's like,
Ooh.
oh, I think he's Swedish, and this guy's eyes are just amazing. He's angelic, and he explains Swedenborg really, really well. So it's on YouTube.
Wow. What about dragons? I think that's a great question. Their dragon totems exist. I think it has to do about power. What do you think?
I think it's about letting go of the past.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like letting go of the past, letting go of that. Which, I just got letting go of the past. I don't know why it just came in my head, but it did. Yeah.
Wow. What about buffalo? Now, a buffalo to me brings a lot of strength. What do you think of
Buffalo
it?
to me brings a sense of warmth, a sense of stability,
Hmm.
and I think family also.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I know that there's there's a certain meaning to it, that we're giving meaning to these things too. But I think we have to be open to that because it could be something different to each person. I guess what they resonate with.
Oh,
These are
absolutely.
not in stone. Our definitions here. These are common meanings, but everyone has their own meaning for an animal that they feel that resonate with them, with their truth.
Right. So Elizabeth Glomsky says, what if you can communicate with birds? I can whistle their song and they answer me since I was doing this since I was a child. That's
100%.
fantastic.
100%.
Right. right?
I 100%. I try every time a bird comes near me. I
Hmm.
I have these morning doves,
Oh,
lovebirds, and they're right in my backyard. And each time I
lovely.
go to my little garden, they go they'll go away. But I often will lie down and there above me, and I'll just try communicating with them. And the hummingbirds I'm starting to communicate with now. And I'll water my garden, and they'll come right to get the water, or I'll just walk out and they'll come next to me. And they can be very territorial, hummingbirds, but
Yeah.
um, I helped hummingbirds. Well, I don't have it with me; I have it downstairs. But there was a hummingbird nest on my little
Ooh.
tree near my house, and I watched the babies. I watched the eggs, two eggs, and I watched
Oh.
mommy would come and sit on them, and I'd make sure to disturb her. But every day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd go and look, and she would know I was there, and sometimes she would leave. To make a long story short, I saw the one hatch,
Hmm.
um, and then the next one I saw didn't hatch. The hatch was there, but I saw when the second one left the coop. I'm standing there and talking to it. It's like, "Are you ready to go yet?" And I also went
Right in front of you?
in front of me. Yeah,
Wow.
I
That's
was
a
very honored.
powerful moment.
Yeah, I felt honored. I felt honored.
Wow.
I
You
love
should have
hummingbirds.
been. Listen, so squirrel always represents savings. Is it time to save something?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes, squirrel things away, right?
Squirrel things away. I mean, it, um, let's see. A gargoyle. I have no idea, Blanca, about a gargoyle. That's it. That is something. Um,
So this is something. This is from Cheryl Davis O'Toole. She saw a cardinal feeding a baby bird on Mother's Day. Now,
oh,
that to me is incredible. Now that to me, you can look at that and say,
uh,
well, what does that mean? Well, I would definitely again, there's a sign there, and
yeah,
that's what nurturing someone, nurturing the young,
yeah.
loving somebody, caring for somebody. I would look at it that way. I'd open that up a little bit and say, this is about caring and nurturing
Especially on Mother's Day,
on Mother's Day.
you know. And
Um, what about a goat? Well, that's a good question. I think goat is plentiful. Having plentiful goats love to eat everything. It's plentiful.
I always think stubborn.
Yes, Capricorn. That's because
Yeah,
Capricorn.
yeah. Now, turtle is Mother Earth. It's Gaia.
Gaia. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think of that? Turtle.
Shy. Shy.
Shy. Oh, they are Yeah, they are. They
I can
are.
relate to a turtle. Someone asked me that today in yoga, and my yoga teacher we talked about, who we're going to have on next week,
Oh, yeah, Kellee.
phenomenal. She did amazing healing on me last week, which is like,
Yeah.
people say they do healings. I'm like, I've been around a long time. I'm very skeptical. And she did an amazing experience with me, which she's incredible. So I've called Kellee and I said, Kellee, we have to have Kellee on. She's just incredible. People are going to love
Yeah.
her. She's
Oh,
amazing.
and she's so her background is so amazing.
I was shocked. I didn't know she had
Hmm.
those trees, and I was like,
Yep.
we talked today about Virgo, because we're both Virgos, and we're in a yoga pose. Don't ask me which one it was. I think it was a grasshopper, or I don't know which one. Camels. I don't know. And we talked about shyness. So I'm very, very shy Virgo. And she goes, "No, you're not." And I said, "No, I really am. I'm very shy Virgo." And I said, "I feel like a turtle sometimes. I go in the shell. I like to observe, but I don't like
Yeah.
to be in the fray. I'm not crazy for being in the fray of it, but I like to watch. Like if there's a party, a throw party, I'm really the one that likes to watch people have a good time. I don't need to be in the center of attention. I just like to watch. And people are very
Yeah.
surprised about that with me, but it's so true.
No,
You know,
I
you know
remember
me well.
very well. You're not one to take the center stage. In fact, if anything, you're ready to watch and observe.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Book signings are hard for me.
I've been there with you with those. Yep, it's true. Are we
No,
done yet?
it's so much longer. I'll
Um,
just
that is so true. Um, Lori says, I see eagles daily. Eagles are really interesting because they also bring a lot of responsibility, frankly. Eagles have a lot of power too. Get
a
ready
lot
to
of
soar
power.
when you see an eagle.
Yeah, get rid. That's a good. Get rid of the sore and spiritually get rid of the sore. But I agree with Kelly's responsibility. I had good friend of ours, and I used to go on tour with her. She used to take care of me, kind of, I guess you'd say. And she's my seeing eye dog, but she was a woman, and she
Okay.
calls herself Mother Eagle. And
Yes.
Peggy, who's been on our show,
Peggy.
and
Hmm.
she's the Mother Eagle. And I know you're an eagle of some kind,
Oh, yeah.
Kelly.
Oh,
And
yeah. I get my eyes out
yeah,
constantly.
no, but I think she named you as an eagle. You're
Oh,
some.
I'm sure Eaglet, I think it was.
Yeah, your eagle family.
Yeah.
She names certain people eagles, and there's some that can just be hawks. But
Mhm.
it's very funny. Yeah, I'm eaglet because she takes
You're
care
the
of me.
eaglet. That's right.
And
Oh my
anytime
God.
you're out there, you'll see eagles. I think if you ask for your signs, your animals, a sign from an animal
Mhm.
that you can relate to, resonate, to show you a sign, you'll start seeing them. The more you open up your mind, the more you'll start seeing your signs of spiders or not unicorns, some about a unicorn or eagles or whatever it might be. You'll see them. You
And
really will.
sometimes they choose you.
So true.
So
So
when they choose you, just pay attention. Again, all of a sudden in your dream, again, I never would have thought of seeing a unicorn, and sure enough, it's what happened. Um, so okay. What about koalas? We have them in our trees in our backyard. Wow, you must be in Australia, Ma. That's amazing. Koalas. Well, James, what do you think of koalas? That one I don't really know.
I don't know about koalas. I really don't know enough about them, but I do know they like to eat. They love to
Yeah,
eat.
they're
I also
charming.
they're charming looking, but they're very nasty creatures. They're
They
very
are.
territorial. Oh yeah, they're very territorial.
Oh,
Yeah, they're very much that way. Very territorial beings. I don't know enough to say, so I
right.
would. Ma, you could probably tell us what you believe they to be.
Cranes. Oh, Gina, great question. White cranes, that's a big deal. Cranes are, they bring power to any situation. They have the ability to look ahead. So cranes always look ahead.
Ah, interesting. And I'd say transformation as well.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
things before they appear.
Yes, yes. They bring good luck too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Cranes.
hmm
I
I'm
see a
always
lot of
thrilled.
cranes around my house. I see cranes.
You do? That's,
See a lot.
oh,
Yeah. Well, because I think a lot of people have like ponds around here or gold, koi ponds and
yes.
live right near the ocean. So
Right. Oh my gosh. So Lisa's asking about woodpecker. We have woodpeckers. In fact, I took tons of pictures of woodpeckers today. We have so many woodpeckers. It
I'm
means
sorry. I'm sorry. She's asking a question about woodpeckers, and you took tons of pictures of woodpeckers today.
today. I could send them. I'll send them to you today.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking
Uh,
about. Okay.
yeah. Oh no, I have this thing about woodpeckers. I just love them. I love to watch
What do
them.
you
And
think symbolically it means, woodpeckers?
a woodpecker brings financial help. Financial help. It's a really good sign when you see a woodpecker. Yeah.
Interesting.
hmm
Interesting. Yeah.
Um, people are loving this.
I am
This is,
too. Interesting.
oh my gosh. Rabbits. James, what do you think about rabbits?
Fertility.
You,
Fertility.
no, you're right. For sure.
Fertility. Yeah,
For
fertility.
sure.
Health. I think of health and fertility.
hmm Oh my gosh. We had an odd thing last night in the middle of the night. We have a camera, that watches the house, and a giant raccoon showed up.
Sure. Sure.
A raccoon, and it was about wearing a mask. The totem was about wearing a mask, and I thought, isn't that an interesting totem? Because I haven't been out of the house, and people wearing masks, not wearing masks. I thought, how interesting that would appear last night. And oh, there you go. Okay, what does your mask say? This mask saves animals. Where did you get that? That's so fun.
It appeared on my desk. Don't ask me where, when, how, or why. I don't know how I ever got this. I don't remember
Oh
getting
my
it.
gosh. What about a mouse?
Well, we get in my house. We get coyotes a lot. A lot of
Oh,
coyotes where I
well,
live.
they're tricksters.
Tricksters,
Mhm,
coyotes in my neighborhood.
mhm.
Coyotes all around me, surrounding me. So
Oh my. Yeah, yeah. Well, California especially. Yeah, we have them
yeah,
here too, though.
do
We have
they?
them here. Possums. Yeah, possums are curious. Possums are to be curious about. Yeah, they bring a curiosity here. Uh,
Very curious. Yeah, very much so.
so this is funny. Oh, parrots. In California, you have a lot of wild parrots.
Do you know about the parrots in Long Beach, California?
It's where I used to live in Long Beach,
So
and
tell
they
everybody,
were in the trees everywhere.
where they came from. Do you know
Yes.
the story about where they came from?
No, and I
You
lived there.
know? It was from what I heard. It was some people went away
Okay.
to I don't know, it's Puerto Rico or one of the islands or Central America, and they bought that parrots illegally. And the parrots they put in their backyard. They had babies, whatever. They had them in cages, and then they set them free. And that's supposedly where they came from. The wild parrots, because they're
Wow.
not in Long Beach, California, and there are a lot
No.
of them.
Oh, there were tons and tons and tons of them. It's amazing.
I heard. Yeah.
Oh my God, I bet that's true. So cardinals, they're asking about cardinals. Cardinals often are messages from the other side. Our loved ones come as cardinals.
100%. I got that as well. Yes, very much the Cardinals and Blue Jays. What about Blue Jays?
Okay, Blue Jays are tough. They're tough, aren't they?
I always get resistance with Blue Jays. I always get resistance, stubborn, hard,
Stubborn.
and,
Yeah.
and territorial. By the way, and territorial, and they tend to take what's not theirs.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's true. So Kay Cahoon says, what about a bat? I had one crawl up on my leg while driving. Okay, I don't even know if I could even hear this story. That's awful. Kay, I don't even know what to say, but from now on, my windows are rolled up. I mean, James,
a
what do you
mouse,
even say?
a mouse with wings.
Oh, yeah.
Mouse with wings. Well, the night feeders, of course.
Hmm.
So,
Well, they transformational, I believe. Bats mean to change.
yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Transformation, shadow side.
Shadow side, for sure.
Yeah, the dark
Yeah.
side, shadow side.
Yeah.
Another good way, just different. What you expect, not what you expect, because you
Right.
think, you think it stays on a tree and then it flies in the middle of the night. It just flies. I remember.
Right.
Do you remember, Kelly? Have you experienced Austin, Texas? I stayed in a hotel there. I think it was a Hyatt Regency on a book tour, and it's a known thing, and I think it
Okay.
still is. Bridge in Austin, and
Okay.
all the bats on the bottom of this bridge, and when the sun sets, all the bats go off, and it's people go and see it. It's a whole big deal there. And it's a whole bridge of bats that they
A bridge of bats.
They hang out underneath the bridge, and at sunset they go free.
No.
And you'll see swarms of them just take off at night, sunset. Yeah, in Austin. So anyone there in Austin?
No, they make me nervous.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
Yeah, they just do.
Them. I don't mind. I've had bats around me. I've had bats in my backyard. I've had bats. I don't mind them, but I don't trust them. Maybe it isn't really the right word.
Maybe. Oh my gosh. A polar bear. Ooh, great question.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I don't know polar bear, but that it would be very specific to know. Because
I think it is integrity. I think
okay.
I think there's gosh, we think of polar bear, I think of harshness, harsh weather too. So
Yeah.
strength,
Strength,
warmth,
leadership.
leadership. Yeah, inspiration, integrity, compassion.
Gosh. Deer. Lisa's asking about deer, and this I find this so interesting about deer. Deer means to shine the light so others can find their way.
Wow.
Now, believe it or not, actors and actresses often have deer totems.
Really?
Mhm,
Wow. Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you'll see that when an actor has one. I always know that that person's in their highest place.
Wow. Wow. Wow, that's great.
Interesting, right?
I love deer.
Adaptability, yes. Oh, I do too. It's so much fun to see.
Deer. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. They say that Kim Ann Snodgrass says the Austin bat colony has 1.5 million.
There you go. I knew.
Okay, thanks, Kim Ann.
It's amazing. It's an incredible sight. People come from all over to watch it every night. It's an amazing. I used to watch my window in my room. It was just amazing.
Oh my God. Listen to this. Dorothy McKern says, after my dad died, a bat came down our fireplace, flew in my bedroom, hit my face, screamed my head off. Our dog took off into mom's room, and I was just 20 years old. Well, that's certainly a way to get a message to you.
Wow! 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 Wow!
Note to Don: shut the fireplace.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Now, a hippopotamus. I don't know hippopotamus, but it's ancient. Like rhinoceros often brings up ancient things.
Interesting. Someone asked also about a cat.
Yes, cats.
Right?
I do know. So, a lot of people, that there are cat people out there.
Right.
There are a lot of cat people. So cats bring intelligence, protection, independence, agility, and curiosity.
I also say if to get a sense of good fortune, good luck, good future, even you with a cat. And I like having cats. I'm not a cat person, but I like cats. I'm allergic to cats, but I like cats. I like when I see cats. Yeah, independence.
Yeah.
Independence. Yeah.
Yeah.
And bobcats. What about bobcats? solitude. Ability to live in solitude, right?
Yes, yes.
And vigilant.
Strength, endurance, you know. Yeah, bobcats are intense. Peacock. Oh my gosh. So they're asking about Cheryl's asking about peacock. Well, to me, a peacock is always the phoenix rising. I mean, it's always the energy that comes out, the different colors showing off. It's
Yeah, I get it's so funny when you say that. I think of the second, third, and fourth chakra. So that's
mm,
clairsentience, and that's what that's
okay.
orange, yeah, orange, yellow, and green. So
Yes.
I don't know. That's what I get a sensitivity when I feel peacock
Did you
sensitive.
ever go to that Hollywood Forever cemetery in Hollywood?
Of course, I
Okay.
love. Of
You
course,
remember that whole
I live there.
peacock session? They have a whole peacock
Oh,
section.
I haven't seen that. That was probably put
Oh,
in after I went there. Wow.
okay. So they have peacock.
I have friends, I have clients buried there.
Sweet.
I've been through many a client buried there.
That's very funny. But they have
I did a show
peacocks.
there once. I did
So
a show for extra TV for there once. Yeah.
what was that like?
It was wild because I was doing this evening shoot for the extra television, extra TV was called, and the Paramount lot is right next door.
Right.
And I was doing with Shar, the psychic Shar. We did it an evening, and we couldn't get it going because the lights would just jump out, generator, generator, and the guys, the electricians there, was like, "What? This never happens." Well, and it was just we couldn't get a good shoot because it was just the lights would keep on going out. They obviously didn't want us to shoot there, so I said, "I think we need to move on." Let's go outside the cemetery. Is that true?
That must have been something else. I'm sorry I missed that one.
Oh yeah, I should write a book about it.
Oh, yeah, that's well,
What
anyway,
fun stuff, yeah.
oh my gosh. Um,
Here's
that's
one, but
very
how about an otter?
an otter. I always think of water. I think of emotions. What a
I
building.
think of laughter, and I think of curiosity, and I think of water.
Ah,
Water also sensitivity, but otter and sensitivity, water, laughter, curiosity.
right. And frog. What do you think of with frogs?
Well, because frogs can jump,
Mhm.
I often think that. Let's see. Um, I think of frog as fertility. What was that
Okay.
show or movie where a lot of frogs came upon somebody they all sang all
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and I think it means fertility.
Well, it
Frog.
also means, I think, spiritual world and the mundane world because frogs can go in the water and they can be on land.
That's very true. Very, very true. I love frogs. I do think fertility is a big thing too. I
Yeah.
have a lot of frogs where I live, and they're always calling each other, because I have a little
Right.
waterfall where I am. And I always have frogs willing across the property kind of
Does
talking to me.
anything ever just pop out at you? Well, since you live out in nature like I do, does
Yeah.
anything ever just pop out at you like a frog or
Uh,
something?
lizards.
Okay, let's talk about lizards.
I've had lizards every day. I see at least 4 or 5 lizards, and they're big lizards. And I used to go by them. I used to run, but now they stop. They don't. They don't because I've sent out a thought. It's okay. You're safe. It's safe where you are. Don't worry. I often think that lizards are about agility because they're able to wiggle
Hmm.
around. I think that's what they're about.
And they're ancient too because they've lasted forever.
Yeah, and a
It's
lot of lizards in people's dreams too. It's a dream
yeah.
kind of totem.
Oh, Jocelyn says she thinks of frogs as a leaper between worlds.
Oh, I
Oh, I
love
like that.
that. That's a
I
great.
love that.
Great title for a book too, by the way. Just saying, that's good subtitle. Sorry,
It is a good one,
great subtitle for that.
right?
A leap
Um,
between two worlds. Yeah, just saying.
yes. Um, Salamanders, I do not know. I have no idea.
I'm never
So
saw
I don't know.
no.
But gorillas, what do you think of that? I think of power and strength.
I think of power and strength. I think of independence. I think of gosh, and it sounds really weird, but I think of domestic. I think that this is my home. This is my home, my place.
Ah,
Yeah,
wow.
location, strength, power. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think gorillas are beautiful. I love gorillas. Love, 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 love. I think that what you see is so different than what they are. I mean, I think they're
Yeah.
sensitive beings, so
Oh,
sensitive.
completely.
It hurts my heart to see. It's really interesting. It hurts my heart
Mhm.
to see animals in captivity. And
Yeah.
even though friends of mine have said, and these are big scientists have said, but they're better off in captivity. I'm like, I know you can say that. I know the conditions are
Mm,
better in some ways, but I just have, for me personally, I have a hard time seeing
yeah.
that. And in my astrology chart, it said somewhere in my chart that it's hard for me to see animals in captivity. It's very true.
Wow. Yeah, it is. I understand exactly what you're saying with that. Um, Seahorses. Oh my gosh, Donna, seahorses have
Great one.
always fascinated me. I mean, I think of water, I think of emotion, and I also think of freedom. I think of both.
I think of the same thing. I think imagination. I
Oh
think
yeah.
knowledge, wisdom,
Mhm.
knowledge, imagination. I think of freedom as well.
Mhm.
And yeah, I love them. Those go that the whole unicorn thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love those. Penguins. Well, they're very
Penguins.
family. They mate for life. Penguins.
Penguins. I think penguins of intelligence. That comes
Mhm.
to my mind. Penguins.
Yeah.
They are. Was a special on the Animal Planet channel, whatever it was, 2 or 3 years ago. Penguins. They come back. They do. They go to the same place. They mate in the same place.
Right.
Come back, meet the same mates. They can be
Mhm.
separated for miles and 1,000 miles. They come back and meet the exact same mate after
Right.
all these years, and they will mate the
It's
same.
amazing, isn't it?
Oh, intelligent. Yeah, it's
The
really
intelligence is amazing. I'll tell you another one that has extreme intelligence, and that is an octopus.
an octopus could do many
Mhm.
things, can't
Did
they?
you see the movie?
I didn't see the movie, but I was told I should
Oh,
watch the movie. Right? I
oh,
was told.
you should see it, James. It's really, really good. Octopus is a pretty extraordinary totem, actually. They have so much intelligence, and they have a whole the eight legs, represent the infinity.
Sure.
Fascinating.
There was a yoga move we did today. I posed with octopus. So
No,
yeah,
really.
yeah. Somebody tried octopus. Look, octopus. I only have 4 limbs. Wait,
Octopus.
that's
It's
why the twice. Oh,
it says that octopus brings wisdom, keen-mindedness, and a connection to the path of the mystic.
wow. That's
That's
interesting.
interesting. And it represents infinity.
And eight,
And
eight.
it says it's a message from your past lives and the lessons you've learned.
Sounds right to me.
Interesting.
They're
Uh,
really interesting creatures, aren't they? Octopus. Very.
oh my gosh.
I mean, you got to be
Absolutely.
humble. You got to be humbled by that. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
Oh, a chameleon.
Chameleon changes spot, changes color. Interesting. Changes. It's not not what you think they are. Um,
Right.
just I would say just I don't know, deep understanding. I don't know. What do you think, Kelly?
Yeah, could be deep understanding or deep understanding of change, making a big change.
Transformation. It represents
Mhm.
transformation too. Could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Everybody is saying they didn't realize how smart octopus is. It octopus is
Yes.
octopus
Octopi.
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 They, and dolphins. I always think of dolphins as such a higher consciousness. Whenever I've had a dream of a dolphin, or I even think about them, or you've been at the water, and all of a sudden
I
you'll see a
rode with the
dolphin.
dolphins. Do you remember what you were on that trip, weren't you? When I
Okay.
did the dolphin thing, and
Yes.
I had to hold the sign up with my name on it, or some stupid thing. Remember that?
Okay. So
Remember that trip?
it was, yeah, I remember very well.
That was a
Yeah,
nightmare. Yeah.
I hung on to for dear life, actually, holding on to that dolphin for dear life. And we went off, and that dolphin took me somewhere, and I was like, ah. Afterwards, I was like, "Oop, okay, I did it. Now I got to go."
I always bless them because I mean, again, I see them in captivity, but to them the strength, and they're really actually very graceful dolphins, and it's a symbol of power and control, really.
Yeah.
And I think they're just so smart. Oh, they're such
Oh,
smart creatures, and I mean, they've used them a lot with a lot of learning disabilities, and they find the success with the
yeah.
dolphins. And I'm studying the dolphins' language and the whales' sounds.
Hmm.
I mean, that in itself, that vibration. It's a great meditation. I'm going to do that, a meditation with whale sounds and also dolphins.
Oh, I would love that. That's a
Right?
grand
It sounds good.
idea. So,
Yeah.
how do you find out what your animal totem is? Okay, so I'll tell you, Kyle. If an animal comes to you, or if it's in your dream, or you just you just can't get this animal out of your mind, it's a totem. And so, what I would do is I'd Google it. I would look to see what it means to you, because it may mean something different to you than it would to me. But it
Right.
has a meaning to it. Sit in meditation with it, right, James?
Exactly. See what resonates with you as well.
Hmm.
What do you feel about that animal? What
What do
feels?
you feel exactly? What does it make you feel?
I mean, that's what I was going through that list of animals. Just it's a little bit of them, but right next, what do you feel about each one of them? What feels closer to you? And
Yeah.
also, this might sound strange to people, which is fine, but who do you feel a part of? Because we're all connected. We're all one.
Right.
So there's aspects of that creature that you'll feel connected to in some way, for sure.
Well, I'll tell you something funny, James. My mom, before she passed away, she wanted me to have this book that her family had written, and it was about the town that she came from was called Crow County. And
Yeah, you've told me this before because I've had this experience. Yes.
and I'm like, what? And it was, so whenever I see a crow, or a clan of crows, I go, okay, all right, I get it now. And I know that they're around me when I see those.
There was once I had a thought of your mother, and next thing I look at my water fountain, and there's all these crows there. And I closed
That was it.
It's so weird, Kellee. I was thinking of your mother, and all of a sudden these crows there. You said,
That's it.
You told me this story.
Crow County.
And that a bunch of crows are called a murder. Murder of crows. That's what we call a group of crows.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, one thing I do want to talk about before we go is I just want to mention to everybody, time goes fast, and I just want to mention this because on the 10th we have a solar eclipse, everybody, and it squares Neptune at the time, so it's going to be a little chaotic. So this is what I want everybody to remember.
What's today's date? Please.
It's the June 10th. June 10th.
Today is what?
Today's the 8th.
Okay, so we're talking Wednesday, folks.
No, Thursday the 10th. Thursday. Yep, it's this Thursday, and it's a big eclipse. It's a solar eclipse in Gemini. Okay, and I want and we have a Mercury retrograde in Gemini
right now too.
We have a lot of things going on, but what I want to say about this eclipse is I want everybody to set their intentions and make it simple. Simply, it doesn't have to be complicated. Just set your intentions of where you'd like to go in your life. What do you want to head into? What are the messages you're receiving that say, you know what, I want to make a change now? But keep it simple, because the clearer you get, the easier it is for the universe to go, okay, here we go. Wow. It's a big eclipse. And I'll tell you, to help with the transformation, aren't you guys you're doing your tools for transformation?
28-day transformation courses right now. Yep.
It's a perfect time for this. Perfect time to do this. And I heard you talk about your class today for transformation, and you've been doing it.
I did it last month because I had to, because I couldn't do it. I can't talk about something I have done, and I did it, and it was very different than last time I did it, which was 2 years ago. And something came through for me very strongly. So, and it had a lot to do with our next guest next Monday, Kellee Russell, about transformation. So there was something came through during that, and then with working with Kellee, who's going to talk all about her way of healing is very different than anything I've experienced. Right. She's going to be next Monday night, and not muscle testing, but it's energetic muscle testing.
Right.
And she was right on. She does ancestral muscle testing for ancestral works, patterns of ancestral work, day things, and she brings you through it. And it was just an amazing. I'm still feeling high from it. Yeah. It's like that's how we had with that project. We had that time with that healer, and it stays with you for a while. With me, actually, I saw her today. She's also a yoga teacher, my yoga teacher. And I said, Kellee, I'm still feeling that. And she goes, yeah, well, we're working there for a while. So
it's good. She's going to be a great guest. You guys are going to love her. She's going to be on next Monday. You guys are going to love her. It's going to be fun.
And then we're going to do a show on auras.
I think it's the week after that. We're doing auras. It's the week after, I think. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be so fun. We've got
exercises for people with auras. Let's do a special little exercise for people to see auras, read auras, feel auras. And one more thing, I think, I mentioned today in my soul care, I'm going to start doing an evening of inspirational messages. And it's not going to be messages for spirit, like evidential messages, but it's going to be messages where we go into an altered state of consciousness and let guides come through and answer questions for people.
I love that. Well, a little bit what you did today, this afternoon.
What I did today. So I think I'm going to make an evening of that. So I'll let people know.
I love it. It's fabulous. Great.
Time I do it. So inspirational messages.
Perfect. All right, everybody. Well, James, it was wonderful. Thanks everybody.
Thanks, Renee.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
The James and Kellee Show.